Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer, and what is happening in Pakistan? Major meltdown as the news that India has placed two aircraft carriers near their maritime boundary with 35 aircraft has sent shivers down the spine of Pakistan. Where did this begin? Is this India's response to Pakistan? What is the message India is giving? To understand all this, let's welcome our geopolitical commentator Sumit Peer who will give us a little bit more perspective, the implications, and where things go from here. Sumitji, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Shri sir, namaskar, pranam, vanakkam, and sadhuvat to all. And always an opportunity to be on the channel. Thank you very much for the invitation, sir.
My pleasure, Sumitji. And let's quickly look at what is happening. Pakistan is literally excrementing BRICS. You can unpack it for our viewers.
Shri sir, you could not have said it more beautifully. So what we are seeing is last 1.5 hours. Before 1.5 hours, there was not even a whisker about it. Nobody knew what is happening. The first thing I want to tell our viewers, with a lot of respect, is that, as you all will know, when an aircraft carrier is not like an aircraft, right? It can reach Pakistan within 15 minutes. Ships take time to sail. Ships take time to reach. So the first and the most important thing, what we need to understand is that they would have started maybe yesterday or day before yesterday. Both the aircraft carriers, Vikramaditya and Vikrant, both set cruise and they went up to the Arabian Sea. When they started hitting near the Pakistan's maritime border. So it's for the first time, both the aircraft carriers of India with 35 aircraft, which is MiG-29s, P-8, which are the submarine hunters, and other kinds and types of aircraft, reconnaissance aircraft and all, they are hit the Pakistan maritime border. They are almost there. Now, when we talk of a aircraft carrier, what we need to here understand is the CBG, Combined Battle Group. Then aircraft carrier will have a couple of destroyers, maybe 4 to 8 destroyers. Then you will have frigators. Then you will have smaller ships. Then you will have submarines. Then you will have reconnaissance aircraft. So it's a complete battle group. So it means it's an armada. It's a floating airfield with 35 aircraft, which are attack aircraft, most of them. Then you have P-18s, which are submarine hunters. Then you have reconnaissance aircraft. Then you have destroyers, frigates, and corvettes, which accompany it along with submarines. Now these submarines, I don't know is INS Arihant there or not. I have no information because INS Arihant is a nuclear-powered submarine and can carry even Agni 5 and can carry K4 missiles. So K4 is also has a range of around 2,300 kilometers. And with all these things happening and with most advanced torpedoes, suddenly imagine you're Pakistan. Suddenly the news breaks. The point I'm trying to make is that you don't have to look them as two aircraft carriers. But when we go deep into the aircraft carrier, so with one aircraft carrier, there might be, we know 35 aircraft, but there must be around 16 to 20 naval assets, which are destroyers, frigates, and corvettes, and reconnaissance aircraft and others, and submarines which travel with one. So I am talking of 40 odd naval assets, high-powered naval assets. And our frigators and destroyers are armed with BrahMos, have reached your maritime border and knocking on your door. Talk, talk, talk. Hello, Pakistan. Hello, Pakistan. I am here. Good morning. Hanji, you want to say something?
Yes, not to disturb you, I really apologize for that. Viewers, please like this video. This is really, really hot information. Sumitji has been, burning the wires, getting all the information for the last 1 hour to give you all the most up-to-date, accurate facts about what is happening. Please continue, sir.
Now, thanks, Shishan. So what is happening here now? Then when suddenly as a country, you have 40 of the prominent war machinery of your adversary, India, knocking your door, obviously you will have reasons to worry. Now, Pakistan media is going crazy. Pakistan, administration is going crazy. Defense minister has gone crazy and nobody has an answer. Now that is important to dissect why. Why is Pakistan worried? Couple of things. For the first time, Indian Navy is sending a very clear-cut message. Indian Navy is not a domestic Navy. Indian Navy is not confined to Indian Ocean. Indian Navy can go wherever it wants and it can take down the adversaries or protect the interest of the nation wherever it wants. For the first time, we have both the aircraft carriers going in this direction, right, in single direction. So that is what is the first message we are sending. we are sending it as a power projection. And if you look at the naval spokesperson, he said it's a power projection to the adversaries and to the friendly countries like Oman, like UAE, like others in the Arabian Sea. Look, push comes to shove, when it will be your national interest or when it will be common interest, Indian Navy will be there to protect you. So Indian Navy is no longer a defense navy. Indian Navy is no longer a navy limited to Indian coastlines. Indian Navy is no longer a navy limited to Indian Ocean only. We are expanding our horizons and can take down our enemies wherever we are. Now, by this time, you understand that we are talking of, it's not only 2 aircraft carriers. I'm talking of around 40 naval assets, and some of them have enormous capacities, but we cannot discuss the capabilities here. That is not the forum. I mean, whatever is in the open media, we all know. So that is the power projection which we want. Nobody knew about it. Another aspect I want to highlight: where were the Pakistani satellites? Where was the ISI? Where is the Pakistan military intelligence? Where is the Pakistan Navy? Now let's talk about why are Pakistanis shitting in their pants. Sorry, sir, not to use a very parliamentary word, but it is the emotion. The what is the Pakistan Navy? Look at the Pakistan Navy. You have 5 active submarines. Got in 97, 98. They are French made. So they are already around 12, 15 years old. And the good news is, France is not giving them the requisite spares. And the maintenance of the submarines is decimal. And what is the availability of the fleet? Shunya bata sanata, unquestionable. Today, the state they are in, they are unreliable. One, Pakistan doesn't have money. Second, France is not cooperating with them. So that is about the submarines, 5. Here we end the story. So they are practically there, but technically not there. Now we talk of destroyers. Pakistan doesn't have destroyers. Now they have 6 frigaters. Out of 6 frigaters, 4 came from China. Sorry, they have 10. Right, they have active 6 frigaters. 4 came from China, which are not operational. So 2 to 4 frigaters are operational at the maximum. There's no destroyer. Now this 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙬, with a smaller, which is the smaller version of then a the biggest is a destroyer. Then we have a frigater. Then you have the 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙀. Now 𝙤𝙬𝙀, they have 6. Now these 𝙤𝙬𝙀, I think they are from Romania and one more country. Now you can imagine how good is the Romanian technology, and again they're 15 years old. What is the plight? What is the thing? We have no idea. Obviously, that's not good. Pakistan does not have an aircraft carrier. Right? We all know. So you have 40 state-of-art naval assets knocking your door. Hello, Pakistan, we are here. What is our idea? I'll talk about idea. Pakistan, before we get into the idea, I've been always talking on various digital channels and on national TV, and have warned Pakistanis on their channels, which I've stopped going now. I don't go to a lot of Pakistani channels because I don't want to give tuitions free of cost to jihadis. Now, I have told them, I said, look, how do you imagine that the attack will come from the land? Okay, somewhere down the line you have an army, but which is no match to our army. But when it comes to Air Force and Navy, you are shunya bata sanata, you are 0 bata 0. So there's no way you can match Indian Air Force, there's no way you can match Indian Navy. Now look into the Pakistani Air Force, we'll talk a bit about it. Most of them are JF-17s. 70% of the fleet is grounded because they're unreliable, the fuselage cracks, radar anchorage falls down, the ejection doesn't work, the wingspan there develops cracks, and there is no ejection system which works. The radars are horrible, and only Chinese-made missiles can fit in it. 2 countries, Nigeria and Myanmar, who took JF-17s from Great China, both have grounded the fleet. So JF-17s is not workable. And the cherry on the cake is that now the engine, which is in JF-17, after every 300 to 400 hours, it needs an overhaul. Now where does the engine come from? Russia, Uncle Putin sends the engine. Now the Chinese said, oh, this engine is not reliable, we are going to make our own engine. And Uncle Putin told them, sorry, we are not giving you any engines. So whichever that aircraft is there, practically it cannot fly. So that's JF-17. And then JF-17 is one unique thing. You cannot fit any other missiles and ammunition except made in China. And we all know how good is Chinese ammunition. Let's not even get into that. The Chinese ammunition is so good that China buys all their weapons from Russia. So, I rest my case. I don't have to talk more about it. Now, you talk of F-16s. The F-16 package from US is only on... Yes, you were saying something?
No, I was just going to compliment what you just said, that F-16s, for flying F-16s, Pakistan needs the permission of United States. This is for defense only. So they can't really go out and try and attack. So that's another problem there. Viewers, please like this video. Like this is breaking information, but it's very accurate, up to date, and this is the way India is now beginning to respond to what Pakistan has been doing, nibbling here and there. There's another story that is breaking again from Gujarat. 4 people from the ISIS Khorasan group have been apprehended. Lots of drug busts going on. See, all these things are ways in which ISI is trying to create anarchy in India, and all these things are being cut. So now I think this is my 2 cents, and please continue your stuff, and we can touch upon what I'm trying to say is that, see, most of these things are finding their way through the sea. Now that is cut off. Just watch how India will seal off the border land-wise, and there will be no way anything can come into India. That's how I see the plan emerging. Please continue.
Sure, thank you, sir. Now, so we know that. So now Pakistan doesn't have practically a navy which can take on Indian navy. So navy is off the card. Pakistan doesn't have a air force. I was talking of these F-16s. Now we know about there's a 400 million F-16 upgrade promise. So Pakistan is not getting the money. Lockheed Martin is getting the money, and Lockheed Martin will go and upgrade the aircrafts. The point here is only the radar and some aviation systems are going to be upgraded. There is no talk of spares. There is no talk of any new arms and ammunition which is being given to Pakistan. I have been asking Pakistan one simple question, one technical question. Today, I know the availability of F-16 fleet is practically zero, 10-20%. Even the upgrade has not started. When the upgrade will happen, it will take maybe 1 year, 2 years, and things like that. So when the upgrade will be done, what is the availability of the fleet? I'll give you an example here. In the UPA era, great Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, we had the availability of Sukhoi fleet as 50 to 55%. That is because there are 2 kinds of spares. One are spares which have a calendar life. Second are the spares which have a running life. So when you want a helicopter or a fighter aircraft to be up in the air, both the spares have to be there. You must have inventories, you must have software upgrades, you must have everything. So same Sukhoi fleet, today the availability is 95%. The aircraft has not changed, moreover, are same. But the availability of spares, the space support from Russia, the mending of relations with Russia is a key point. A lot of people don't know about it. From 55 to 95. So practically, if I break it down, assume we have 1,000 Sukhois. So in 2013, I could only fly 550 Sukhois. Now today, I can fly 950 Sukhois. That is the difference. So that doubles your firepower, that doubles your resilience, that doubles your defense power. So this is what is the availability means of a fleet. Now, when after even the upgrade, nobody in Pakistan could order me, how will the availability of the fleet change and what will be the new availability of the fleet, because they even don't know what all Lockheed Martin is going to upgrade. So this upgrade might look good on paper. Lockheed Martin might be, and I hope and pray they are richer by $400 million more, because the American government will give money to Lockheed Martin. It's not Pakistanis. And imagine this is a part. This is just a part. Now, if you go to open market, you do a tender, you might be for $10,000. But I'm the Lockheed Martin, this is my proprietary part. Having worked for an OEM, I can tell this part is $100,000, take it or leave it. And that too when you're not paying me the money, because the US government is paying me the money. I can say it's $200,000, $500,000. What is your option? So money in the hand can get much bigger things, but an upgrade where the money is directly getting paid to Lockheed Martin only will know what to upgrade, what the Pentagon will tell them to upgrade, and when the Pentagon will tell them to upgrade. So when we are going crazy about this F-16 upgrade, when you put and when you really get into details, which I've got to a great extent, you will see it is only a gimmick on the paper. But does it promise new missiles if you run out of missiles? No. Does it power new arms systems? No. Does it power new enhanced firepower? No. It doesn't promise any of that. And that too you have to take permission from the Americans. And I believe there's a concept called intrusion keys. I'm very sure when the Americans will upgrade the software, they can put those intrusion keys, so not making it too complex. So if Americans want, the F-16 may not even start next time.
It's called kill switch. Switch.
It is correct. It is that kind of control. So these illiterate jihadis do not know what is a software upgrade. They will readily give F-16, "Saab, isko upgrade karo, sir, upgrade it. So next time when the pilot goes and he presses the button, "Arey, Uncle Biden ko phone nahi kiya. Didn't you call Uncle Biden? Did you call General Austin? When General Austin will tell me, then the switch will work." Now these guys will always wonder what the hell happened to them. But this is how technology works. So Pakistan Air Force is out of the game. They have some hovercrafts and some speedboats and gunships. They do not matter when it comes to aircraft carriers. Now, with such an armada knocking on your door, your air power is not option, your military power is, your air force is not option, your navy is not option. So what are you left with army? Now, to best of my knowledge, I don't think Pakistan army can swim in the sea and go and attack an aircraft carrier. Well, I don't think they're so competent yet. And unless and until they're born dolphins, which they are not, to the best of my knowledge. So unless and until they have a magical carpet from Aladdin, which can take them and, they will say Allahu Akbar and start shooting, firing here and there. So that is not an option. You see, Pakistan has been always stressing on one thing: army, army, army. Because they know at army in guerrilla warfare, they can be can offer some kind of a resistance. Their tanks do not work. I've spoken about Khyber tanks. That after 20 kilometers or 2 miles, the radiator gets hot and it takes 4 hours to cool it. So that is the Khyber tank, the most advanced tank there. So army is what they've been always contemplating about, and I've been always telling them, and I think in this channel I have told them last time, I say, how do you know the attack will not come from sea? How are you contemplating army? How are you contemplating air force? We might take a sea route. Now, what is the magic of the sea route? Push comes to shove. If these Pakistanis start acting funny, what can you do? You can do the naval blockade of Karachi. I have indicated that in cryptics on my earlier videos on few channels. Somebody asked me, I said, look, naval blockade of Karachi is almost on the cards. Now, what is Karachi? Karachi is the only city which has major ports, the 2 major ports in Karachi, 2 to 3. One is non-function. And second thing is, what we need to understand here is that Karachi controls 70% of the GDP of Pakistan. All the shipments, all the imports and exports come through Karachi. Why Karachi has 70% of the GDP? Because the ports are in Karachi. So if you do a naval blockade of Karachi, Pakistan is dead. Pakistan will shrink. Pakistan will literally, people will start killing people for meat. I'm sorry to use such a bad word, but this is the reality of life. So India is sending a message to Pakistan. We can take you down from the sea. And Mr. Pakistan, Jihadi Pakistan, you have no option. You are no match to me. You don't have aircraft carriers. You don't have submarines. I told you about submarines. I told you about naval assets. I told you about the Air Force. Army cannot swim with the AK and take down an aircraft carrier. That doesn't work. And let them not forget, most of our naval assets are empowered with BrahMos. Very recently, we have been doing BrahMos tests in sea, on land, from submarines. We are doing from various options. We've been doing BrahMos testing. I was always thinking that there's a reason, there's a logic to it. So this is the emergence of India as a global naval power. And some people are even telling me that Pakistan is so scared. Now these so-called non-state actors like this Dawood Ibrahim, 𝙒𝙂 and all, they are all went into their barrows. Rats have barrows. So they all went into those rat barrows and they are hiding. They don't know what is going to come next. And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, the best commandos in the world, the best special force in the world, of which 98.99% missions, only 1% are declared, is Marcos. Some people rate Marcos better than Navy SEALs. All the missions of Marcos, 99.99% are classified, or 98.99% missions are classified. Nobody knows who's a Marcos. Their faces are now shown. They are the most hardened commandos in the work. They can work on air, they can work on sea, they can work on land. They can work in any of the conditions. So, have we sent Marcos there? I don't know. What are Marcos going to do? I don't know. What are Marcos capable of? Anything to everything. And remember, near Karachi, there's a place called Paradise Point. Paradise Point is where maximum nuclear assets of Pakistan are. So is Paradise Point the target? I don't know. Are we just sending chills down the spine? Possibly yes. Is China looking into it? Yes. Will China help? No. And so our sphere of influence has reached to the whole of Middle East. We are sending that, we can do, when push comes to shove, we can do a blockade of Karachi. We can protect our friends everywhere. So what do you see? This is a new strategic emergence of India's Navy. A lot of experts believe that today Indian Navy, first of all, it's a pure blue water Navy. Secondly, Indian Navy is rated higher than the NATO's Navy because the assets are bigger. And as I told you, there are more than 56 assets which we are building right now. And these two aircraft carriers are indigenously built. Third, we are building, and there are more than 56 assets which we are building right now. And I've been talking on a lot of digital platforms and TV that the focus of India is going to be on Navy. Navy, Navy, Navy. And if you track Rajnath Singh Ji's inaugurations, what has he inaugurated in the last 18 to 20 months? It is only destroyers and frigates and submarines. Look what Rajnath Singh Ji has inaugurated: destroyers, frigates, submarines. So this emergence of India as a naval power is really threatening Pakistan. Pakistan has no answer to it. Pakistan has no navy to match it. Pakistan doesn't have an air force to match it. And the jihadis of Pakistan have no idea what to do next. So what are they doing now? They are only praying, Bachalo, Khuda Bachalo, because there's nothing more they can do. And what I liked about the operation is nobody could get a clue about it. And when the aircraft carriers move, it takes time. They will not reach Pakistan maritime boundary in an hour. This must have taken them a few days. I don't know how many days to reach. So what was Pakistan intelligence doing? What was military intelligence doing? What was ISI doing? What were Pakistan's so-called satellites doing? If still they are working, I don't think any of them is working. So what was their intelligence doing? What was the Pakistan military and administration doing? So now this so-called macho Pakistan army, which they claim themselves to be, are helpless, clueless, and are running like headless chickens. Helpless, clueless, and headless chickens. That is what is happening in Pakistan right now. The story is developing. Our Navy is very clear. It's a power projection. We want to send a message to our adversaries. Indian interests can be protected anywhere. Our adversaries can be handled anywhere. And our friends can be assured, push comes to shove, we are there to protect your interests. So this emergence of India, this messaging of India, I have never ever seen before. This is for the first time we have seen. Surgical strikes was one message. We can penetrate into enemy's army and our special forces can eliminate you. Parasaf 9, the best in the business, they know how to call hunters. Now, second was Balakot, where the Air Force did what they had to do, they're good at that. The third is now, where Navy is capable of making people and our adversaries shit in their pants and telling our friends, we are a power, we are a global power. Look, it is rightly said, if you have to control the world, you have to control the seas. Now, in today's time, whoever dominates the seas will dominate the world. That is what is happening now. And reasons for Pakistan to get bananas, to get crazy is all there, because practically speaking, they have nothing to answer it. They can't even engage our Navy. That is the plight of Pakistan and Pakistani Navy with this economic condition, with these things happening there. Now, I think Sharif must be cursing himself. Why am I the Prime Minister today? I would have wanted a Niazi to be Prime Minister today, because then I could put all the shit on him and say it's because of Niazi, because of its policies he went. Now Sharif must be cursing himself. Why am I the Prime Minister today? Khwaja Asif must be running. He said, I'm no longer the Defense Minister. So this is what is happening in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, brothers, sisters. This is the power projection. This is a new India calling the shots. I have been always telling them and warning them. How do you know we are not going to come from the sea? And my guess was right. My thought process was right. This is we are coming from the sea. So that is what we had to share about this thing. Shri sir, over to you so far.
Thank you so much, Sumitji. I hope you guys are able to watch my video properly. I can see it, but sometimes StreamYard can have some quirks. Sumitji, the most important thing here is all the imports, such as wheat. Now in Pakistan is a net importer. Wheat, petroleum, any other supplies, all those things have to land at Karachi, because Gwadar I don't think is still functional. Kind of tell us, is Gwadar functional today, or if all these things are going to come, they all have to pass by this kind of like India will have the opportunity to check what is coming in and what is more importantly leaving Pakistan, isn't it?
Sir, you are bang on. You're absolutely right, because Gwadar port is not operational, and the road from Gwadar, which was supposed to be that super CPEC Chinese Alice in Wonderland, Chinese Disneyland, or Chinese what do you call Mandrake the Magician, All the three are not working. That is why Chinese are now talking of a rail link, $56 billion rail link, because they know CPEC is washed out. It is a gone story. Nothing is working. Now, naval blockade means a lot of things. Pakistan's navy is not competent. You can do economic blockade of Pakistan. And incidentally, I want to share one more interesting aspect with you. Pakistanis have been talking that the Russian crude is coming. The Russian crude will reach there on 23rd of May. And we are where? We are today on 10th June. There is no trace of Russian crude. And they are saying that the Russian crude has reached somewhere near Oman and all. So if India wants, the Russian crude can never ever reach Pakistan. Essential supplies can never ever reach Pakistan. Now, what is the bigger game plan? What is in the mind of our CDS, and what is in the mind of the army chief and the naval chief, and what is in the mind of Rajnath ji and Modi ji and Amit Shah? I have no idea. So are we planning something big? Possible. Are we trying to do something in POK? Maybe yes. And today morning we had an 8-hour long exercise where Sukhois were deployed to hit long range targets. 8-hour flight with a refueling in the air. So with I think our tankers IL-76 or something, I call them. So they went there and the refueling happened 8 hours they were in the sky. Sukhoi cannot be 8 hours in the sky. So the refueling has to be done. They were 8 hours in the sky and they were targeting some long range targeting practices Indian Ocean region. So now if you see these two things happening, is there a bigger plan? Yes. Can there be a bigger plan? Anything is possible. Are we going to permanently reverse something? It is a very, very strong possibility. There was a big amphibious exercise of in J&K, which was done twice. 100,000 troops participated in it. It was a news just a few days back. Now join the dots. 100,000 people have exercised twice. Now we have this Sukhois trying to do some long-range targeting. After Sukhois trying to do long-range targeting, now we have the third exercise wherein we have moved the 2 aircraft carriers up to the Pakistan maritime border. So things look to be, things are looking to be kind of, things are looking to be very dangerous for Pakistan and very good for India. What are the possibilities? Possibilities are any to many. So we don't know what is going to happen. Possibilities are any to many. Pakistan is worried. We cannot only block Karachi. Gwadar doesn't work. Karachi means you're controlling. What is Karachi? 70% of the GDP of Pakistan. So whatever jo bhi bacha kucha, whatever is left in Pakistan, if you squeeze that 70% in such a fragile economy, if you have a blockade for 2 months or 1 month, or push comes to shove, you eliminate the Karachi harbor. So what is Pakistan left with? Right? Pakistan is typically left with nothing. Or do we have some strategic targets in mind? Do we have a paradise point in mind? It can be. I don't know. Possibilities are there. So this is what India is trying to show, that India will not only take you through army, not through air force, we can also take you through the sea. So this messaging helps to build trust with our friends, and this messaging will send shivers down the spine of the enemies, not what the India is up to and what India is doing. It's a very interesting set of developments, and this is what is happening. I'm loving the helplessness of Pakistanis. I'm loving what Sri sir said. They are really excreting BRICS. They're shitting in their pants. And the good thing is they have no answer to it. And, like last time Modi ji said once, it was a Hindi conclave. He said that when the second attack happened, they got their bad teams, they got or radars, they got all on the border. They think that Indians will again, cross the border and will come, we'll take them on. But he said, "Hum to Bajrang Bali ke baad, ab ki baar ud ke gaye." With Bhakta Bajrang Bali, we flew. That was the airstrike on Balapur. Now we also worship Varun Devta. Na? Varun Devta is the lord of seas. Is the Samudra Devta. So we are now taking the Samudra Devta wala route. And what is the logo of what is the punchline on the tagline of Indian Navy? Let the kripa of Varun Devta be on the Navy. So when our Indian Navy sails, Varun Devta ka Ashirwad and Varun Devta ki kripa is always with us. So this is what we are doing. It is interesting to see, and our subs have been upgraded. We have developed a lot of capacity. We can even carry nuclear power missiles. We are a nuclear triad. So what are we trying to squeeze out of Pakistan? Is only the fear? or is there a bigger game plan? Is POK on the cards? Possible. Strategic assets on the card? Possible. Power positioning? Possible. Projecting our strength? Yes. Sending good messages to our friends? Yes. And at the same time, giving an impression Indian Navy is no longer confined to Indian Ocean. And naval spokesperson is very clear about it. So Pakistan is in a dilemma, is in a position which they don't know how to do it, what to do, what next to do. Every media channel of Pakistan is talking about it. Defense Minister of Pakistan is silent. Pakistan Prime Minister is silent. And the great Asim Munir, who must be trying to get money from here and there, he is also silent. Maybe he will flee the country. He must have fled the country. I don't know. So nobody is talking from Pakistan. Only the media is going crazy. Now the people who were talking of 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛, right? You know, all know 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛. 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛 will come on a horseback. No, sorry, donkey back. Horses are not there. And let me tell you, I have some interesting news. Now Pakistan is going to sell 5.8 million donkeys to China. They were entered a contract. They already have more than 100,000 donkeys, and the business we are going to do is donkey breeding. So every Pakistani is going to do donkey breeding. When they will reach 5.8 million, they will send to China. And you know what Chinese do with the donkeys? They eat them. Simple. By the way, China has also taken 100,000 monkeys from Sri Lanka. They bought 100,000 monkeys from Sri Lanka. So I don't know what these Chinese are doing. Are they creating the new virus? Are they using monkeys and donkeys for the meal? I have no idea, because the rice is short in China now. So I don't know what is their plan. What are they going to do? Now the question I want to ask Pakistan is: you have no horses left. You don't have any mules left. Now, are you going to ride donkeys and do the 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛? So the people who want to do 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛, they must protect their boundaries now. They must use adult diapers now. Their defense minister, prime minister should talk. They should say, we are not scared about the Indian Navy. Or are they choosing to be silent? Is silence being politically correct? If I can talk on it, why nobody from Pakistan is talking on it? Why nobody is worried? And the thing is, they are not worried. They are in absolute shock. They don't know. Imagine if your country who has no naval capacity, there are 40 to 50 naval assets knocking at your door. What will you do? You will pretend to say, I have not seen it. That is what exactly Pakistan is doing, Sri Sir. Interesting developments, interesting times. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is history in making. We, you and me, are lucky to be a part of history in making. This is for the first time I have seen this kind of power play, this kind of, show of strength by the Indian Navy. Kudos to Indian Navy, kudos to Marcos, kudos to all the people who organize it. And we did not hit any radar. Anybody could not get a hint of it. And we know Modi ji is going to be in US in quite some time, and we know some strategic defense deals are being signed. Pakistani media is already crying if this is our position now. After Modi ji comes back from US, and the kind of technologies he's going to get, the kind of technology transfer India is going to get, the kind of capacity which is going to grow. 5 point. Yeah, it's good. Right. Here you are, Sachin ji, you're absolutely right. So 5.8 million, because from 100,000, they're going to breed them. Every Pakistani is going to them. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, you know what is the biggest business in Pakistan today is YouTube. Father runs one YouTube, son runs one YouTube, daughter runs one YouTube, mother runs one YouTube. And everybody is taking Indian videos and commenting on them. Just putting something. So, and unfortunately, 99% of the subscribers are Indian. So by this way, millions of dollars are going into Pakistan quickly, which the onus is on us, the people who are killing our people and killing our soldiers. Do we want to send them millions of dollars? Do we want to let this money go to Pakistani channels? And let me tell you, everybody there talks al-Taqiyya. There is no sympathy for India. There's nothing. They're talking do friendship with India. Why? Because you want to get stronger so that you can do 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛. Arey bhaiya, the country got divided on religious lines. It is divided. You got your hissa. Whoever wanted to stay here, stayed here. Whoever wanted to go there, go. Now, हमने तुम्हारे परपोतों को पालने का ठेका ले रखा है. Do you think we are indebted to bring up your grandchildren? Why should we do those things with you? Why should we give you the share of our prosperity? Why do you want access to Indian markets? For what? And you're talking India, ra, India, ra. Anything happens, 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪. India send us money. India open our market. India give us credit line. India give us cash. Why? And this sympathy which they show for India is all al-Taqiyya. And trust me, when they get stronger, they will come for 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛 any time. From 13th century, people have been coming to India for 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝘛. Let's not get carried away by a beautiful face and a beautiful smile and an innocent smile and well-combed here with a lot of chameli ka tel on it. So I also put some chameli ka tel. If you like me, I can also be as good as them. But I don't want to be as good as them. So friends, we have to stop these millions of dollars going into Pakistanis because we are giving them money. We are watching videos, we are subscribing, we are giving them money. We have channels like this. We have other channels which are run by Indians. Why do we need a Pakistani to tell us how good or bad we are? Why do we need them to endorse our viewpoint? We don't need any certificate from them. Jihadis are jihadis. I told you last time, why did 𝙤𝙬𝘀𝘀 Khilji? Why did 𝙤𝙬𝘀𝘀 Khilji destroy Nalanda? Remember that. And let me share one more story with you. Slightly diverting, sir. Give me a minute. You know, in Somnath temple, when this Muhammad Ghazni came, they offered him 1 crore golden coins. We are told this Muhammad Ghazni came because he wanted to loot and plunder. That's wrong. When he came, the Raja and the Purohit said, take 1 crore golden coins and go. Do not disturb the temple. He said, no. I have to destroy the Shivalinga. They asked him why. He said, on the day of Qiyamah, I'm telling you historical fact. This is not my created story. On the day of Qiyamah, when the Allah, the Khuda will ask me, are you a Buddh Farosh or Buddh Shikan? Buddh Farosh means who traded Buddh. Buddh is the idol, is the Shivalinga in this case. I'm talking of Shivalinga. I'm talking of Somnathji. I want to be seen as Buddh Shikan, the one who broke the Buddh, who broke the idol, who broke the Shivalinga. So I don't want your 1 crore Swarna Mudras. I will still break the Shivalinga. That is the reality. But today, you know where is Ghazni and you know where is Somnath. There's no comparison. So these things have to get out of our head. There's nothing called friendship. There is nothing called this crap, Aman Ki Asha. There is nothing called Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb. And one thing, Sri Sir, I fail to understand. When I hear this word Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb, what the fish is it? I wanted to use a different word, but I will not use. What the fish is it? Bhaiya, Ganga ji is Ma Ganga. It comes from the Jatas of Bhagwan Mahadev. We all know. Jamna, as per Hinduism, is the daughter of Suryadev, is the sister of Shanidev, and is the sister of Yamraj. Right? That is Ma Jamna. When did Ma Jamna become an Islamic Nadi, bhaiya? What Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb are you talking about, bhai? Ganga ji, when did Jamna ji become an Islamic Nadi? Ganga ji is daughter of Suryadev. Ganga ji is sister of Shanidev and sister of the Lord of Death, Yamraj. Bhaiya, when did you hijack Jamna ji to become an Islamic Nadi? What is this Ganga Jamna Tehzeeb about? What is this facade of Aman Ki Asha about? I mean, you are killing our men, and what is this subscribe? Like, what is this about? Why do we want to hear our perspective from you? Aren't Indians good enough to give a perspective? There are so many of us giving perspective. Why do we want to hear perspective from this? Today, we have to decide, do we want to give them millions of dollars every year and run their economy? No. After our soldiers are risking our lives, after our people are doing this, and what is there? Now India is rich, India is prosperous. All these people who have been spilling venom against India are talking of friendship with India because you want to take a pie from the cake. And let me share one thing interesting with you. I was wrong in telling you one information, she said. I said that the Pakistan's fertility is 3.4%, which is highest in the world. I am wrong. They have proved me wrong. Now it is 3.6%. Progress. So Pakistan's Abadi will be doubling in 18 years, or not 20 years. And government of Pakistan, you know what have they said? When you have a male child, you will get 2,000 rupees. And when you have a female child, you will get 2,500 rupees. So Pakistani government is giving incentive, cash incentive to make more babies. You're already at goddamn 3.6%. You want more babies to do what? Remember, all these babies will come for Ghazwa Hind if you enable them, if you make them stronger. Let there be no doubt about it. I want to urge you all. I urge you, I request you, sir, kindly vote. I always talk of Hindu unity. I talk of Hindus should forget regional, local, ethnical, language, black, white, Dravidian, Arya. There's nothing called, we are all one DNA. We are Sanatanis. That's it. Hindu, Hindustan, Hindu and Om. That is our identity. I'm very clear on that. I don't mince my words. And this all is al-taqiyya. This all is a way to siphon our money. Nobody can run a media channel or a thing in Pakistan without the blessings of ISL. You have to know this very explicit and clear. So if somebody is doing it saying, I'm independent, I'm pro-India, no. One journalist, Mr. Khan, he spoke a word, he disappeared. Another journalist was killed in Africa. He was killed in Africa. They took him down in Africa. So do you think anybody can live in Pakistan and be pro-India? If you think that, you are really hallucinating. Sorry to use a direct word. We should not enable our enemy. If you have to cut the enemy, the first thing is you have to cut the financial muscle. What is this naval blockade about? What is this power play about? This is to block Karachi. You block Karachi, you cut the pipe of the ventilator of Pakistan. That is what we are doing in Karachi. So our government is doing what we are doing. We as valued citizens, we as patriotic citizens, have to do our part, sir. It is to us, we have to do our part. Let's do our part. Let's not shy away from doing our part. And I'll keep on updating you as in things when things happen. We are on the right track. We are doing the right things. But to make the things work, we all have to get together. We all Indians have to get together, irrespective of our ethnicity, race, or whatever, and handle the situation. You have the advantage. You have the demand. Remember, demography only works till the time the numbers on your side. If the numbers tomorrow change, there is nothing called secular. There is nothing called demography. There is nothing called this. Up to 50, look at the Muslim population in the whole world. I'm telling you based on the history. Up to, they're less than 50%, they said, Bhai, hum pe zulum ho raha, we are being persecuted. 50% division, 51% Sharia. This is as simple as that. So remember your numbers. There are 57 Islamic countries in the world. There is only one Hindu country, India, and there is one small kingdom called Nepal. But we have the power, we have the resilience to move the Himalayas. It's up to us. Can we get together? Can we forget our divides? Can we vote sensibly? Can we look sensibly? Can we really see where the money is going? Are we empowering our enemies when our government is doing so much, when our Jawans are putting their life on the risk? And I am utterly against this crap of trade with Pakistan. Sorry, there is no goddamn trade with jihadis. If your terrorist organization is going, you have 50,000 jihadis here, you are making bullets and RPGs to kill my Jawans. You want me to do trade with you? Do hell with you and your trade. Go to hell. I don't care where do you go. Go to 57 Islamic countries and do trade with them. I have no problem. Go to 150 Christian countries, do trade with them. I have no problem. Friends, it is time. Only government of Modi ji cannot do whatever we want to do. We have to all get together. I'm appealing to all the Indians. I don't know what is your religion, what is your caste. We have to all get together and protect our country and protect our interests. And especially Hindus. It is time you wake up, you smell the coffee, you look what is happening around you, join the dots and know what is happening to you. Last time we talked about the temple economy. Now I try to explain you why Bajrang Bali is on the target, because the maximum temples in India are of Bajrang Bali, Hanumanji. That is why Bajrang Bali is on the target. I talked to you what is 𝙒𝙗𝙗𝙗. I talked to you what is the temple economy, what the Indian temples are doing, how they are changing millions of lives, how we are feeding, 20 million people per day. 20 into 30, 600 million. We're feeding 600 million people a month. 600 million people a month. The biggest private hospital, super specialty hospital in India is run by Ma Amrita. I talked about Kashi Vishwanath, I talked about Sri Padmanabhaya Temple, I talked about Sri Tirupati Balaji, I talked about Mata Vaishno Devi, and I can go on and on. But when we do these broadcasts, when we come to you, our idea is to send a message. Our idea is to make you aware. Our idea is to give you all sides of the story. And our idea is also to decode what is hidden in between the layers. Because usually a lot of things are in between the lines. A lot of things are in between the layers. So we come here, we unmask everything for you. Our idea is good for all, prosperity for all, and hellfire for the enemies. And hellfire for the enemies and adversaries. I won't mince my word. I have no sympathy. I have no empathy for my enemies. I have no empathy for jihadis. It's as simple, as clear, and as explicit I can get. And I speak my heart out. I don't mince my words. Sir.
Thank you so much, Sumit ji. A couple of things before we go on to questions. Many people thought that India will not do anything before the summit meeting of Modi or the meeting of Modi with the President of the United States. This is definitely a surprise that the two are independent. And I'm sure that you're going to hear from us in the next couple of weeks some very surprising new details emerging from this particular meet. There's a fairly big contingent that Prime Minister Modi is bringing along. Usually, Modi travels very light. He doesn't bring a big set of people. This time I'm hearing it's a fairly significant contingent. A lot of things are going to happen. Just stay tuned. Also, please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. And also remember, guys, that we are doing Hindi broadcast now for the simple reason of what Sumit ji said, that we are giving you content which is much more accurate. We are trying to give a better option for our Indian brothers and sisters. Instead of wasting and enriching the channels in Pakistan, you can watch PGurus and become our subscribers. And that's all we are asking you to do. Just become our subscribers. Let's take some questions, please.
Sure.
Pawan Kishore wants to know, is it true that Mr. Gandhi, who's not even an MP, has met Donald Lu secretly? Lu is accused of ousting Imran Khan. Why did White House keep it secret? Is US planning to meddle in Indian election?
Pawanji, namaskar. Sir, there are reports coming in that he has met Donald Lu. And let me tell you also, there was a picture yesterday of Madam Kamala Harris with George Soros' son. And let me also tell you, in last 1 year, George Soros' son has visited White House 17 times. I don't know what does he do there. And incidentally, why does Rahul Gandhi ji get invited even? He's not even an MP. What you have rightly said, I point your point. Victoria Newland has been doing chakkar here. Victoria Newland was in Bangladesh. Suddenly, a lot of trouble started happening in Northeast. And she has been appreciating Bangladesh on their stand and their commitment for Rohingyas. So there are a lot of things happening beneath the layers. There are a lot of undercurrents happening. And we can only expect after every week or 10 days, there will be a new tamasha. And let me tell you one more intel. You can expect hijab row to now start in Kashmir. My sources are telling me that something is brewing there. So if a hijab row starts in Kashmir, don't be surprised. That can be the next target. So a lot of surprises till Lok Sabha 2024, because the cabal knows if this time Modi wins, they've already wasted their money for now almost 10 years. After another 5 years, they will have no money to waste, no players left to play. So it's a do or die for them. They will try to do anything to everything to destabilize and get Modi out of the gear. Let there be no doubt about it. I'm talking direct from my heart.
Mr. Bharani Chandar wants to know, when can we expect structural reforms from Modi government, with the government employees bringing them to a service-based model from a control-based model currently in use, designed by the British?
Bharani ji, namaskar. A lot of reforms are being done. Thousands of outdated laws have been abolished. But when in a country like India, when you have to do reforms, the first thing you have to look at the political climate. Second, you have to look at which people are going to support you or not. Third, you have to look at this can be used to become a rally masses, because even in the Kisan thing and a lot of things, fake lies and everything was peddled to rally masses. Fourth thing you have to do, can it stand judiciary the test of time? Because everything here goes to Supreme Court. There'll be somebody will go with the PIL to Supreme Court. Saab, dekho kya kar diya. So when these 3, 4, 5 things are on, and the fifth thing is, which we must all understand, every reform, everything has an economic and a geopolitical implication. Economically, it might look good to you. You might be good for the India. But geopolitically, it might upset some paradigms and some powers. Suddenly, some things start going wrong. Right? Suddenly, your arms, your ammunition, your technology transfers might stop. So you have to weigh in all these paradigms, you have to weigh in all these pros, cons, and try to strike a middle ground. That is why, at times when you think, why it is not done today? What stops Modi ji from doing it? He has 303 seats. Now, have you seen a shift in United States? They are calling India a vibrant democracy, and you can go to Delhi and feel it. Why did this happen suddenly? Because we are talking of a lot of arms deals. We are talking of a lot of defense cooperation. So there are things which are in the media. There are things which are not in the media. And this time they are happy to give us a technology transfer. So things are changing. Now, how much does Russia cozy up with China? That can change the paradigms in geopolitics. So you are not a player there. Russia cozying up with China, things change between India and America. It is as direct and as explicit it can get. So some of these things are in, politics and geopolitics loves the shades of gray. Neither black nor white, gray. That is how it does. And honestly, sir, a lot of things we know, a lot of things we don't know. Right, sir?
Next question, please. Rahul Rathod wants to know, what is the exact size of India's GDP in 2023? Some people say 3.5 to 3.7 trillion. I tried to research but didn't get exact number. What is the current GDP size as of June 2023? Sir, I can answer this question if you want me to.
Sure, sir.
See, Rahul, there are two numbers when you you're looking at GDP. There is a GDP number that is called nominal GDP, that is around 3.3 to 3.4 trillion. But you should always not just look at nominal GDP, but you look at constant GDP. What constant GDP says is that will factor in the inflation. So then when you factor in the inflation, that number goes down. It goes down to about 2.9 trillion dollars of GDP. So always remember that one number is always going to be higher than the other number because of the effect of inflation. However, India is only at 4 to 5% inflation when the world is close to double of that. US is fighting their inflation to bring it down to 2%, which is why they are keeping on raising their interest rates. India has already kind of got some control around 4 to 5% inflation. So remember that, always, whenever you tell anyone, you say current GDP, constant GDP. Put both numbers out. That way you will come across as somebody who's very authentic. You are realistic about your numbers. At the same time, you're optimistic about your future. Thank you. Shmati wants to know why Modi government is rejecting Chinese ploy in eastern Ladakh.
Could you kind of elaborate on what is Chinese ploy in eastern Ladakh?
Oh, what they wanted to do, they came into our territory and then said, now let us make the buffer zone here. I think that's what they meant. Shmati, just go back and answer this question. We will go on to the next question, and once you answer, we will come back to that. Blue Waters, thank you so much. Next one, please. Darwinian Chimp wants to know, is there any truth to the reports of cracks on Chinese carriers' deck?
Mr. Chim, thank you. Namaskaram. It's a welcome news. I hope and pray. I'll pray to Mahadev tonight this comes true. I don't have any knowledge. The biggest chinks in Chinese armor is Chinese technology is not reliable. Why is China buying weapons from Russia? If Chinese technology was so good, why are you begging Russians for weapons? Why you are not using your GF-17? Why you are not using anything? Why are you still depending on Russian tech? Why do you need a S-250? They don't have a 400, they have a 250 from China. From Russia. Why is China importing weapons from Russia? That answers everything. A copy is never good as the original, and Chinese all make these jugards. They are good these toys are good to be kept in exhibition and con people and take money out of them. Chinese, Chinese war machinery, so-called war machinery, is as reliable as a Chinese monkey beating the drum. एक हिंदी में कहावत है, चले तो चांद तक, नहीं तो रात तक. So that is what the Chinese So that's what it is.
Pawan Kishore wants to know, do you think that BJP can counter the opposition unity in case they place candidates head-on with BJP in the so-called 450 seats in a hypothetical situation? Before you answer, Sumitji, some of these answers will be provided in our follow-up session with 𝚒𝙬 𝙤𝙧. That starts at 10 p.m. IST tonight. So do tune in for a more detailed discussion. Sumitji will, of course, answer this one. Go ahead, sir.
I'll just answer quickly. Sir, the question is that, when you are at 50 seats, you can even talk 500. It's like you have nothing to lose. Your credibility is 50. So, but I know if you target 450, if you get 50, you will say we have got half a century. If you get 100, we have done a century. But none of them is going to take them into making of government. 450 is a mirage, is a hyperbola, is an illusion, is a delusion. You are welcome to have a 450 like as opposition. Dreams don't cost anything in India. And incidentally, there's no GST on dreams also. They can keep on dreaming 450. What is the problem? Rahul Gandhi ji can dream 500 also. Why not?
Pawan, there is always this vote transference problem. One party, so let us say there's a united candidate, right? Now, what happens is not all these small opposition parties, their voter base doesn't necessarily shift and cast vote for the other person. It is very, very complicated math. So it's not so easy. Just because they are all united doesn't automatically mean that they are going to win those seats. Sridhar Thiruvengadam wants to know, Sumitji, do we expect any offensive action?
Sridharji, namaskaram. Sir, everything is on the cards. As I've been telling you, that 98.9%, only 1.1% of the Marcos missions are never disclosed. And Marcos are always doing something somewhere. The best commandos in the world are Marcos, and whatever these you've seen of drowning of Pakistani boats, these drug hauls, these are all done by Marcos. And as I told you, nobody knows who's a Marcos commando. You cannot see his face. and everything about their missions is classified. But don't imagine that they are just having beer and doing nothing. They are the most active human beings on planet Earth today, and they're always up to something, and they're the best at the job. So anything is on the cards. As I told you, near the Karachi's Paradise Point, maybe that's on the cards. I don't know. Possibility is there.
Yeah, 𝙤𝙤 has come back and clarified. Remember, we're talking about the buffer zone. China
Yeah.
has come inside, and then they now say that between here and where you are, let us create a new buffer zone. This is salami tactic. That's what they want to know.
This is salami tactic. Correct. You're absolutely right, sir. This is like I enter you. For example, I talk to Sri sir. I say, you owe me $500. He say, how? He say, okay, let's negotiate. Even in the negotiation, I get 100 or 200. He doesn't owe me a nickel, but if I get 200, I got something. Nah. It's like as simple as that. I enter your house and let's start negotiating about your property. Will you do that? I get into your car and say, the car is mine. Let's start negotiating. Okay, let me keep the car for 1 day, you keep for 6 days. Would you agree to that? So nobody will give to Chinese bluff. This is all crap. Chinese, it's not a subject of discussion, but let me tell you that Chinese cities are crumbling under debt. China's money, and they have given around $1.5 trillion in loan to around more than 100 countries, and 80 to 90% of them had said, "Nakko, there is nothing to pay. We can't pay you anything." In such a tight economy, when you are expecting cash of $1.5 trillion has evaporated, the local provinces have made these, special purpose vehicles to raise local debts, and the debts are into tune of 15 to 20 trillion dollars. China is in absolute economical disarray, and I don't hesitate in saying on any channel, the biggest facade of our lives is Chinese economy. Take my words, one day you will give me all the kudos for this word. And I don't hesitate in stretching my neck out and saying, the biggest facade of our lives is Chinese economy. I can't be more direct than that.
Thank you, 𝙤𝙤. Thank you, Rakshu Gaming. Chaitanya Takle wants to know, can Ra empower rebels in Pakistan to weaken them further? How do you know they're not doing it, Chaitanya?
Sir, I can only say that, what I only reply by this saying, whatever is in the India's best supreme national interest, that will be done. It can be anything, it can be everything, many. I can neither confirm, neither can I deny. It's a Mission Impossible dialogue. I'm copying Tom Cruise. I'm not Tom Cruise, but I'm copying him. Neither can I confirm nor can I deny. That should answer your question, sir.
Next one. Rahul Rathod wants to know your views about many Indian news channels and some YouTube channels are inviting these Pak YouTubers and giving them space.
Rahulji, I believe, if you look at most of the channels, 99% or 98% of the subscribers are Indian. And what they are all doing, there's a word called in Islamic field called al-taqiyya. It's just talk sweet, talk. When all your weapons face, use the most deadliest weapon, which is your tongue. Talk sweet, talk dosti, talk friendship. Oh, you should help us, you should do us, all that. But at the end of the money, whenever you watch a video, they get paid money. So it's a good business for them. Talk some sweet words, and by that they are slightly trying to put their narratives in the heads of our youth, slightly trying to shape a perspective, slightly trying to run their propaganda. Nobody in Pakistan can run without the blessings of ISPR. ISPR is the public relations wing of ISI. So don't be under illusion that anybody is free in Pakistan. And let me share one interesting thing with you. There are so many channels in Pakistan, right? So many Urdu channels. How many times do you see an Indian there? Because Indians are not allowed to be on the satellite channels, because satellite channels are free to air. You can talk anything. Only one channel can get an Indian. That is a PTV, Pakistan National TV. This is the only channel in English. I go at times. That's it. No other channel can get an Indian. So now what they are doing, they're using this YouTube, because YouTube has a different kind of penetration, they're trying to get the mind share. They're trying to build. Nowadays, the latest thing is dosti kar lo, because you want to steal our prosperity. You want to steal our prosperity when you have terrorists with arms and AKs, and where my Jawans, where my brothers and sisters are fighting them every day. What are you talking about? Dosti mean shared prosperity, aman ki asha. This is all crap, sir. This is all, sorry to say, BS. This doesn't fly. No, it doesn't. I am against all kind of trade with Pakistan, because doing trade will then will enable them, and when they get enabled, they will come again for you. And I don't want to mean disrespect to anybody. You know what Muhammad Ghazni did to Prithviraj Chauhan. Let's not be Prithviraj Chauhan, with all due respect to the great emperor. I have greatest of respect for him. But when we are kind-hearted, that doesn't mean the other person is kind-hearted. When the right time will come, he will come for you. This is what their mentality, their fitrat, and their kafiyat and their noviyat is all about. This is what they are made of. A snake doesn't bite you because he is an enemy of yours. He only knows biting, sir. Snake doesn't know how to sing. He only knows how to bite. So he bites you because that is how God has made him. So don't expect any mercy, if I can be direct with you, sir.
I just remembered one thing. These 200, 300 private flights that landed and took off from Pakistan, do we have any update on that? What did they exactly take?
Sorry?
Remember those 200, 300 chartered flights that landed in Pakistan and took off. Any update on what they carried with them? And also, where is Imran Khan today? Those things.
Okay, two things. Sir, the flights were carrying the looted mal and plunder, fake currencies, currency converted into gold, and those Benami papers and assets out of Pakistan safely, because that is usually they will convert their assets into gold. Now, that is why if you look at a carat of gold, it is so expensive in Pakistan as compared to India. That's point number one. Secondly, Imran Khan Niazi is his Zaman Pak resident. They are trying to put him to a size. They are trying to negotiate with him and cut him to size. That is what they are trying to do. So Imran Khan by every day is losing power and shame. And there, I don't think there are a lot of powers in the world who want to bail out Niazi. That is what is happening. So Niazi is surviving by this date, but how long we don't know. The only way for Niazi is now to leave the country, because if he goes to the jail, he is safe today, but after 3 months, anything can happen in a Pakistani jail. Jails are a tough place. Things can go wrong, and in Pakistani jails, anything can go wrong. And the most important thing, how will he live without this? What I mean is white powder. So he can't live without white powder. So he will anyway die in 24 hours. You have to just put him without white powder, he will die. Uski asliyat bahar aa jayegi. He will go crazy. He will go bananas. So a lot of people are enslaved by this white powder. And I would suggest to a lot of governments, just keep these people in a glass chamber for 48 hours and watch the drama. Keep the TV cameras on, keep them in a plush, air-conditioned glass chamber for 48 hours. And say, enjoy, relax, watch Netflix, watch YouTube, play your games. I'll give you everything, but not only one thing. Then we'll see what happens next.
Looks like not just white powder, but also black paste for dyeing his hair. Even that has been denied.
Correct. So these are the two things you cut, and there are a lot of khiladis who will become, anadis after this. I don't know what to talk about.
Suraj, thank you so much. Tu khiladi, tu anadi. Kishore TVK has become a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Welcome. Steel Plant Babai wants to know, have you seen a recent trend of non-Hindus naming their businesses with Hindu names? How to deal with this menace?
Sir, the only way to deal with menace is that you have to be a little bit smarter. You have to know what it is. If it is a company, you can go to their hundreds of sites, see who are the directors, you will know. If you enter a dhaba, for example, you might have written a Shiv dhaba, but you enter, you will know it's a Shiv dhaba or not. You have to just be a little bit careful, little be aware.
Look inside the ambience. Yeah, you will know exactly what it is.
You will enter the place, you can feel it. The vibrations are different. The people will different. You will not have a Ganesh, you will not have a 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙀, you will not have a Agarbatti, you will not have a 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙀, you will not have Shri Tirupati Balaji there, you will not have Mahalakshmi there, you will not have Ganesha there, you will not have 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙀 done every day, you will not have a garland of fresh flowers here, you will have no Champa Chameli there, you will not have a Pila flower, a jasmine flower there. So you will not have a Gudhal ka fool there. And so there will be no Ganti there. So when you see all this, you already can make it. Tell me, when you're a devout Hindu, if you're a business, don't have a Lakshmi Ganesha there. Don't you do 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙀, Agarbatti every day? You do. When these things are missing, you can only make the name is Shiva Dhaba. It might not be Shiva Dhaba.
Next one, please. Murli wants to know, is this deployment to stop illegal drugs trafficking? This is the destroyers. Two aircraft carriers, yeah.
Sir, the objectives are any to many. The biggest objective is we can choke your economic muscle and make you crawl on your knees, begging for mercy. That is what we can do. If you want to be adventurous in Kashmir, or you want to be too pally with your owner because you're the slaves, China, we have our options open. And let me tell you, if Pakistanis ever think China is going to come and salvage their situation, At the time of flood, Sri sir, you know how much Chinese paid them as relief? Americans gave them hundreds of millions of dollars. You know how much Chinese gave them? $70,000 only. So I don't know, was that to buy diapers or was that to buy mineral water? Because in $70,000, I don't know what can you do. This is reality. And you might curse Americans for everything. They give you hundreds of millions of dollars. Sharam karo. Well, you are loyal to nobody. You are gaddars. You are makars of first order. And still you want to suck up to Chinese. Sorry to use, again, I'm getting out crazy with the words today. Still you want to be suck up to the Chinese. That is what you are doing.
Manov San wants to know, is the new IPP party under Jahangir Khan Tareen being promoted to replace PTI? How will this affect Pak politics?
You know, in Pakistan politics, earlier they used to crop up a leader. You know, a leader will be a prime minister. Like Afridi can become a prime minister, don't be surprised. Now the model has changed. Now, if they don't like you, they let you have your party, they start a new party with your own people. So that's the only change of model. It's all done by Pakistan's ISI, it's all done by the military. The name change, players remain the same. It's old wine and new bottles. That's as simple as that. So, you know, as long as you suck up to the military, you will be relevant. If you decide to go your own way, you will be trashed and put in the nearest trash can. That's how it works.
Next question, please. Gold 51 wants to know, Pakistan is joining BRICS now. How is it possible? Go ahead. We are going to touch upon this. Yeah.
Sir, namaskaram. Sir, last when I heard, BRICS was a forum of developing economies and the major economies which are shaping the world order. Where does a bankrupt, failed, Jihadi, Wahhabi, Sunni, Malaysian economy fit into this? It is for people who are developing. It's for people who are growing. It's for powerful economies. So where do these illiterates and all these figure in this? What is your business there? You want to come and steal plates and spoons and the silver cutlery? No. We won't allow you to do that. You're looking for one more avenue to get loans. No, we won't let you do that. You don't qualify, Baba. You don't qualify. This is a QR. Where do you meet the QR, bhai? You have to go to these you are a part of 10 most deprived nations of the world, which is unfortunate. We don't want anybody there. But from your karma and from your kundali, you deserve to be there. Nowhere else. This is not for you. What you have to do there? Tumhara kya kaam bhaiya wahan pe? There's no work for you there. But you can have dreams. You can have dreams. One day you said, by the way, this finance minister of Pakistan today released a budget. He said by 2057, the world will be doing sajda in front of Pakistan. The people of world will be doing ashtang pranam to Pakistan. But he said 2057. So how many years there are going to? 35 years. In 35 years, most of the people who have heard this will not be there. So a new minister will come. He will have 50 years down the line. You know why people hate Modi? Because within 5 years from a foundation stone to inauguration, he does in 5 years. That is developmental word. And this is a classical politician. 50 saal baad, inshallah, hum dunya pe fatah honge. And what Bhutto was telling them so many years back, Bhutto told them, look, hum ghas khayenge, but hum atom bomb banayenge. We can eat grass, but we'll make the atom bomb. Now today they are eating the grass, but there is one problem. She said, I forgot to tell you. Gas now, if you want to have 5.8 million donkeys, now you are also competing with gas. Will the donkey eat the grass or will you eat the grass? This is a problem, na? Competitive inhibition. That is how Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. In their books, they don't teach them anything. Their books are radicalized. Sorry. You won't know it. Kuch nahi bhaiya. Carry on. Gas hoga.
There's also a bigger problem. There's also a bigger problem with this burgeoning population of Pakistan, because what the statistics we have from England, they have saying that amongst the Pakistani British community, 18% of children born are born with special needs, meaning their growth is stunted because they are marrying within their family. When you should not marry within your family, that's a very, very dangerous thing to do. Now, there is no guarantee that it is not being done in Pakistan. We just don't have any data. So you're also going to have many, physically disabled or mentally challenged children, special needs children. That's awful. They really need to figure out their population control. That's the first thing they need to be working on. I don't know what Shehbaz Sharif is snorting right now. So thank you so much, Sumitji. That brings us to the end of. Go ahead.
Okay. I have read a report which was published a few years back. The report claimed 20% Pakistanis have mental problem, chemical locha in the dimag brain, and that is only where they say it is our partial assessment. The numbers can be much higher, but 20% it is on Pakistani media they have mental problems. Even the Pakistani media admits 20%. Now, is it untrue in British? More than 80% of the inmates in a lot of European countries in jails are Pakistani Muslims. It's not and the people who do more than 90% of the rapes are Pakistani Muslims. It's again the data
Yes,
I'm sharing
yes.
with you. So you must
Right.
have something drastically wrong in your DNA and your head to be such perverts. So this is the reality of Pakistan. And needless to say, the maximum porn downloaded in the whole world is in Pakistan. Again, is data. So when you combine the two, what we are talking makes all logical sense, perfect logical sense.
Thank you so much, Sumitji. And we'll be joining him again tomorrow at 10 a.m. IST to talk in a Hindi program. We're going to talk about some new topics. Don't worry, we are not going to keep it a surprise. But we are hard at work getting you that stuff. Please remember to subscribe to our Hindi channel in addition to our English channel. Thanks once again, Sumitji. We'll be back tomorrow. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar, pranam, and sadhu to all.